What's up with it, y'all? What's up with it? It's your boy Daddy Creek back again, once again with another rendition of Man Look the Talk Show in association with Ridin High Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Simone Sanders, and we'll be talking about the Juneteenth celebration that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? And happy Juneteenth to all my brothers and sisters and my ancestors who may be looking down upon us or feeling the vibe of what we got going on down here in Corpus Christi. I'm gonna let the young lady introduce herself, and we're gonna get into a little things about what's going on and what we got coming with the Juneteenth celebration. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, name is Simone Sanders, and I'm president of TAFE Corpus Christi, and TAFE is the Texas Association of Black Personnel in Higher Education. Many people ask, what the mission and focus is. Strict mission and focus is we assist faculty, staff, and students at higher ed institutions, students and faculty of color. And what we've done is kind of just branched out a little bit. So we have other programs that we do in the community that we do year round. And Juneteenth is just something that we happened to pick up a few years ago. We've still been doing it since then.
Okay. That's what's up. I don't know if anybody is familiar with what Juneteenth is or anything like that, but what I'm gonna do is, before we really get into it, I'm gonna give y'all a little rundown on what Juneteenth is about and why it's here and why we celebrate this, and little something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just give you a rundown, and I'm getting the information from the National Civil Rights Museum, because they put it in a good form for us to let us know what Juneteenth is about. Even though a lot of us down south, we know what Juneteenth about, but in real life, maybe probably in the past 7 or 8 years, people up north didn't even know what Juneteenth was. You know what I'm saying? I would see it all over Facebook. What is Juneteenth? And this coming from black people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
From Alabama, he basically said that he found out about Juneteenth when he came to Texas, and he from Alabama.
Yeah, see, and so I'm gonna just give y'all a basic rundown. It says, on this day in 1965, 2.5 years after Emancipation Proclamation, over 250,000 enslaved people in Texas finally received word that they were free. This day, known as Juneteenth, marks the delayed but powerful declaration of black liberation. But emancipation wasn't the finish line, it was the foundation. In the face of uncertainty and chaos, newly freed black people built schools, churches, businesses, and cultural traditions. They created murals in mutual in societies, elected officials, and established neighborhoods rooted in care and resistance. They chose community over chaos. Juneteenth isn't just a day of remembrance, it is a celebration of how black communities turn emancipation into empowerment and how the legacy continues today. As we honor this day, may we reflect, rest, and recommit to building communities of progress where freedom is more than a word, it is a practice. And that's facts, man. So, what is your first experience with this Juneteenth?
And I don't know what age I might have been, but I remember going to the park at South Bluck Park. Didn't know exactly why we were going and spending the whole day, at the park. I didn't know why we were going to be there the whole day, but I just knew that they had a bunch of stuff set up. I remember there was a fashion show going on. I'm wondering, how did they set that up, in the park, in the middle of the day? I remember, the kids kind of being to one side and the adults being under some big tents on the other side. Yeah. So I didn't know at first what that was about. But then my mom, being who she is, she was like, no, you're going to learn what this is about. They had a little essay contest or something else like that. She was like, no, you're going to learn what it's about. You're going to read about it and you're going to write about it. Anything that I had to do at school, she made sure I had to do it at home too. So I actually went and found the article where I had written something and they had a little contest and they had everybody little names on there who won some stuff. So that's just the time frame that I know, probably 9 or 10 years old, probably so.
See, that was around about the time I myself got to experience my first Juneteenth, and at that time, it was at Ben Garza's gym, right over there by the freeway on the north side. And I remember, man, walking that way with some friends of mine, man. We were all kids, you know, walking up there. And then when we finally get there, man, I see, you know, you see like on Sundays and stuff back in the day, you see all the black people at the park on Saturdays and Sundays. Back then, in Den Leather Projects, they had this cement slab, and that slab used to be open.
Yeah.
Where all the blacks on Saturday and Sunday, they lined that slab up with all type of cars, Trans Ams, Corvettes. Everybody came out on they with their best stuff on, and with their best cars. All the cars was clean, man. Music was playing. It didn't matter where you was at, man. You just had a good. I don't care what little section you walked in. And this was like really one of the times in my life of experience that like really wasn't nobody tripping on what side of town was anybody from or anything like that, man. It was like one of the greatest black experiences I had. And from that experience, I swear, I never wanted to leave the north side. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be around black people 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really too much care about what was going on in the city of Corpus Christi. I just knew this day was profound, you know. I remember seeing cars.
What was it like when you hit Ben Garza?
Exactly what I was doing. I remember just walking up, man. And at this time, there was a song called like Network, E.T., all these different type of songs that you would like hear on the in, quote unquote in the hood. You know what I'm saying, that we played. But this experience was even more live than that because it was actual bands. Black bands from Corpus Christi that I had never seen or nothing like that or heard about, you know what I'm saying? And they were playing all these songs that, hey man, I'll be riding around listening to, you know what I'm saying? But no, these people are actually on with the little stage up there playing these songs. You got people right there dancing. You got kids over here, food over here, cars parked in the grass with you know, with the little signs around them, you know what I'm saying, where you can come and walk up to the cars and look at them, look on the inside. I think Kevin Amy was one of the first cars that I had ever seen. I think he had like a RX-7 or Z2. I think it was an RX-7, man, with like some gold inkies on it. It had like a little bra on the front of it with some little Playboy bunny rabbits on the lights when they flip up. I mean, it was like a real live experience for me, man. And from there, I remember being there for a while. Then as I got older, I didn't see it too much. I can't even remember too much after that until Hillcrest Park. You know what I'm saying? And do you have any information or anything on like doing that little area while things kind of like died down, or what picked it up, or what make y'all, you know, picked up the torch for it and, you know, try to bring it back?
What happened at first is my mom, she was the one that was the president at the time back in 2018. She had got word that 5 guys that she had went to high school with had passed, and they were all between the age of 50 and 55. And she was like, you know, they young, like what was the problem? All of the problems related to undiagnosed or they weren't taken care of. High blood pressure or prostate was the other one, those two. So she was like, you know, we need to do something like a health and wellness, something else. And then, you know, we knew the bridge was supposed to start around that time. And then they were talking about what to do with these houses and things like that. They had paid, you know, that agency to come in and they're supposed to help people out and all that. We were like, well, what are you doing in the neighborhood, you know, as this agency and this contract you have with the city? Start asking questions about stuff like that. So all of those people, if you noticed on the t-shirt back then, it was like, no, we want you to put some workforce stuff. We want some stuff about health. We want you testing kidneys. We want you out here with, this is the jobs that'll be for the bridge, the companies, that Flatiron, Dragados and all of them. No, y'all come bring, if you got to bring applications, we're going to be on site. We're going to set up in this park. My mother and I, you know, we just do the extra stuff to make sure we're bringing the people to the park too. So that was like bringing the Bayou Brass Band or asking, you know, y'all to perform. We want to make sure people come and show up. But also while you're here, go ahead and talk to these folks that's over here. We need to make sure if you're thinking about taking, you know, a buyout, we got a finance person here. Insurance person, you know, that kind of stuff. So that was the long list of all that we had over there. And it was to make sure, you know, that that they were putting the resources where the people were,
Yeah.
not that you have an office somewhere else.
Yeah.
You need to be out here actually touching these people and putting stuff out. So that's how it started, but it just so happened to be in June. And that's why, I'm telling my mom, we females, and if we're talking about helping out males and all this other stuff, we need to reach out to them.
Yeah.
So even Javon, I didn't know Javon.
Yeah.
I saw he was doing music and whatever else. I said, hey, don't know you, but this is what we trying to do. Can you come help? And so, he's like, yeah, I'm with it. That sounds good. He come to meetings, all that stuff, even after that.
What's up?
So that's why I asked him, can you grab some local, I don't know what local,
Yeah.
talent, whatever. So that's
yeah.
when he reached out to y'all. So that's the way we were trying to make it happen so we can have something. But even then, it's always somebody trying to put up some roadblocks and things like that. So, it was little things that would start happening. And me, I'm taking pictures, like this is where we can have this stage. We're going to have more than one stage. We're trying to make it where it's spread out. We want people to actually come and enjoy themselves. You had different things happen. All of a sudden, there are signs that say you can't park on the side of the curb where everybody parked for years, at that park. Signs like that. They planted trees, they ask you for a map so you can show them, what you plan on doing with the park. All of a sudden there are trees, planted, where this stage is supposed to be over here, this stage. It was different things like that. So it got to the point where even like the residents and stuff, they would call my mom or call somebody they know that would call us. Yeah. And I, at that time, had just moved with my job to the RTA building. I'm hopping in my car during lunch so I can go check out what they're talking about. The trash receptacle thing, they had put the huge thing, just put it in the middle of the grass right before, stuff like that. And it's like, we're doing it, and is it a headache? Is it stressful? Is it all of that? Yeah, but we're doing it because it need to happen for the people. Like, we need to have something. We need to have something that's ours. Yes. So that's how we started it in 2018. That's how it started in a nutshell. And it was supposed to be a one-time thing. We weren't trying to call it Juneteenth, but it developed into that. Even that T-shirt, the one that I was looking for, that was Javon's idea to do like the pillars of the community and that stuff like that.
That's what's
awesome.
Up.
It was awesome. He had somebody do that and do that whole mock-up. After that, we kind of had that discussion. Juneteenth wasn't ours per se.
Yes.
The NAACP and other organizations would usually put something together.
Yes.
But back then, they were just having something at Oakville Williams, like a luncheon with like 40 or 50 people with the seniors. Yes. It's nice, to have some with the seniors, but like, where's the stuff for the rest of us? Everybody need to be involved.
Not to cut you off, man.
No.
I've been in this community for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? For a very long time, from on this north side, man. And I've always and this is not to bash nobody, but I'm just speaking what's real. You know what I'm saying? I've always kind of had a problem with the NAACP here in Corpus Christi. And the reason being is because, there's not one time that I can remember in my life that these people have walked through the community. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there's some people might be watching it or this information is being relayed, but I've never seen one time of these people walking through the community. And a lot of people that be on these councils and things of that nature, y'all ain't even from the community.
Right.
Y'all be from another side of town or shoot, wait on the south side somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's cool. But when you're talking about this particular area where that I remember it all used to go down, you know what I'm saying? That when you're coming and dealing with Juneteenth, you're dealing with these two black communities that's on the north side and the west side. And the west side will bring them, load up their stuff, their families, their friends, and everybody, and they would come to the north side, and man, we would have a celebration beyond what celebration is. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to these certain organizations, man, and I pay attention to everything. That's one thing about me, man. I pay attention to everything. I might not say nothing, or I might say it amongst my friends, because right then we didn't have no platforms for people with voices such as yourself. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation, they ain't have no platform. Right. But now we got the social media, man. If it's something that we dislike, man, we can jump on social media and speak out, shoot our shot, whether you like it or not. But the thing is to bring awareness. And I remember one time, it's not too long ago, that there was a certain situation that went on in Northside Manor with the police department and some kids out there, man. It got kind of bad. It was kind of like a mini riot. You know what I'm saying? And and they was like, how can we come to an understanding with each other? Because we all know through history, the black community and the police department have always had a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Always have had a problem, right? So their plan was to plant some little trees and stuff in front of the the north side buildings, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, this grass ain't even green right here. You know what I'm saying?
I swear I said the same thing when I saw those trees. I'm like, y'all not even over here taking care of the grass, but you gonna plant some trees.
And my thing is, this doesn't help the situation at hand. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It does not help the situation at hand. Where's the real communication going on? What is being said behind closed doors? Because we don't need no handouts in this community or any other or any community for that. We don't need handouts. We need negotiations. We need settlements. And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about financial settlements, but I'm talking about where people sit down at a table and we come to bring our issues to the city or to whatever or whoever's in charge of things like that and fix these situations. You know what I'm saying? Even one of my biggest problems today is that we no longer have our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what they're saying. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, they was talking about like one of the reasons that they shut down the Den Leather project was due to the flood and the water irrigation and where the water goes. But with this new bridge, y'all got a whole tunnel running all the way up to Leopard. You know what I'm saying? Where I see water is being distributed. So to me, I'm still at odds with the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people will be like, well, this and that is in the community. When I was growing up, I remember the longshoremen being on the streets, on the block. And that's where everybody had to go. You know what I'm saying? They had to go to the longshoreman hall. And in that longshoreman hall, you would see white people, you would see Hispanic people, and you would see black people. Now one time, because my dad's friends was all up there, not one time did I see people going against each other, people fighting each other, people arguing with each other. You know what I'm saying? And when they shut that longshoreman place down that was on the block, man, that's when I seen the fluctuation, because jobs was lost at this time. Right. That's when I seen the fluctuation of drugs coming to our community. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying that like these aren't problems that any kind of community have. Right. Drugs are everywhere. It's in the Hispanic community. It's in the white community. It's just how people go about their business. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had noticed that, and I noticed this at a very young age, that when they closed that longshoreman hall down right there, that man, life got hard on that side of town. Cause I remember, I ain't gonna lie, when I was a kid, Ocean Drive wasn't my my goal. Yeah. Hillcrest was my goal. Yeah. For real, like that's what for me, the people that from the north side, people in Hillcrest were in houses. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that was my goal, to get to Hillcrest. You know what I'm saying? If I make it to Hillcrest, I made it, because I seen people living good there. Right. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, his ex-wife, you know what I'm saying? My nephews and nieces, they were all from the Hillcrest area. You know what I'm saying? All my friends that I seen doing good, they were all in Hillcrest area. Yeah. So this is how important that black community was to me. You know what I'm saying? And for me today to drive, because every Friday I drive, coming from Juma, I drive through Hillcrest, man. I make my way through there. And man, I be wanting to cry. Yeah. I be having the whole tough, man. I be wanting to cry. I be wanting to cry because I don't see the buildings in North Side banner up no more. I be wanting to cry because there's no Den Leather apartments right there. I be wanting to cry because it's about 18 houses in Hillcrest now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that there are a lot of other black people who feel this same way, man. Yeah. So that's why, for myself, it's like when Juneteenth had kind of like died down, and then y'all brought it back to Hillcrest, it was a big thing for me. That's why when Javon did ask me, say Cree, we're gonna do this thing, man, you ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's needed in this community. We got to be amongst each other in order to thrive. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like we never needed no handout. All we need is the community to come together and support one another. But now we're all spread out all over the place, man. So what caused like you just said like this wasn't even like no planned thing.
No,
you
not
know
at
what
all.
I'm saying?
Not at
How
all.
did what made it kind of grow?
Well, I knew, our group, like I said, it's supposed to be, higher ed. You're supposed to stick to your little mission and focus or whatever else when you have a nonprofit, and we're part of a state organization. So, it became one of those things where we had to have a sit down and I'm asking them like, are we going to, keep doing this? Do y'all want to? Because, it can be something because we going to make it, something. And then, people were like, you're trying to have this or that. You always going to have a problem. And I'm like, whatever vibe you put on it, that's what it's going to be. It's not what you think it's going to be. It's whatever we say the vibe is going to be. We just had to have a conversation. And it was kind of late in the game the second time that we had something. But then the second time we had something over there, that's when other people from the community joined in. Yeah. So that's when you had like Dr. Scott, saying, well, yeah, we're going to have something at Coles at the beginning of the day, then I'm going to come down. And I think she had kind of left the actual Juneteenth holiday to the NAACP before that. So this time she was like, no, I'm going to come over there where y'all are. Yeah. We're going to talk about this poster contest for these kids. You know how she would do, she want to have everything out there. When it became that's when I think like the city was like, okay, y'all really trying to have, something. We want to talk to y'all. Then you have, people from the Parks and Rec department and stuff like that. They won't be on site and things like that. That's how it became something the second time. And it was just as a group, we said, okay, we're going to try it again. And so that was just supposed to be again. We didn't talk about a third, fourth, fifth time, anything else like that. We were just trying to have something again. Yeah. And we just tried to make it a little better than it was before. Yeah. Let's make sure we're still doing these services, but what else are we going to do for the people, that kind of thing. So then that's when we said, besides doing June, let's make sure we're coming out, doing something for the fathers, for Father's Day. Yeah. Let's do something in April for Easter. We were trying to, because Loretta, she joined our group too and things like that. She was like, let's do free haircuts, stuff like that. So
she's a good girl, man.
Yeah.
Good woman. Take that, good woman. She's good.
So it was those other ideas. She's like, hey, we can set up for Easter too and start doing something, for the kids, before, June comes, stuff like that. And then at the end of the year, many people didn't know that we started doing like food boxes for Elliott Grant Homes and Jeffrey Lido came on later. Even then, we're walking around, telling people, happy holidays, whatever else, and they thought we were NAACP then at that time. I'm like, no, that's not us. We just coming to wish you a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year and give, some food boxes, gift cards, everything we could think of to give to them. So it just developed the second time, and it kind of developed late in the game. It was us having a discussion. It was just supposed to be a one-time thing because that was the situation at the time that we saw, men were being affected in the area. So the second time, it was, okay, let's try it again and see what happened. That's when the city, like I said, we're going to plant some trees here, cutting power lines. I started taking pictures just to show the transformation. Yeah. From when I told you I planned on having something and what you did the following months after that, between then and June. It was just apparent. So then we started showing these pictures. Yeah. Like, why are you coming over here now? Yeah. Trying to do this or that. And like I said, residents started calling. And so I'm leaving my job, driving down the street, go check out what they're saying. Oh, they planted this there. I know y'all had that stage there, last time. Y'all gonna do it again? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, they messing with the stuff. Yeah. So it became that to where we started going and speaking at the city council, all that stuff, and talking to them. So that was the second time where they said, well, we're eventually going to, make some updates to this park. We're going to have a nice amphitheater down the street, do a walking path. They're showing us pictures and renderings and stuff. I'm wondering why. But I think they saw then we had these other people like Dr. Scott and these other folks kind of step in and like, okay, y'all not doing the right thing. When it comes to this, they're trying to have something and you're trying to, in a sense, interfere with what's going on.
Yes.
So that's when it became, okay, they started involving us in what was going on with the park, the bridge, and all that other stuff that was going on at that time. That was that next year after that. But every year it became a discussion. Are we going to do it again? Like even right now, because of the headache of it all, you got people from other organizations, you know, that have an opinion, even with the juvenile thing. My mom, she was like, I quit. Like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this next year. She say that right now. I'm quitting. I'm not doing it. Let somebody else pick it up. And I was like, you know nobody else is going to pick it up. And if they do, it's not going to be for the right reason, is the thing. So it's every year it's a discussion. It's what it is.
Yeah. It's like, man, you know, I don't know what the people in the city think, as if like we don't pay attention to what's going on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or as if black people are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like believe me, we watch our community, man. Mm-hmm. We watch our community. We watch everything that's going on. How y'all try to plant them trees, like you said, in spaces that was occupied.
Right.
So they can no longer be occupied. We just not too long ago, they had a city hall meeting, and it was a Hispanic woman. It was either a white woman or a Hispanic woman telling them how y'all said y'all was going to do all these things 7-8 years ago in this community. Y'all done got the funding for it. Y'all done got the money for it and everything. And still to this day, ain't none of that stuff up.
Yeah.
Ain't none of these things being done. And it's because, man, and just being frank, it's because there ain't never been no love for that community outside of the community.
Right.
There's never been no love for that community outside of the community. Man, when we would when like we would go places, man, outside our community, man, it was always, there go them people from the north side. You know what I'm saying? There go them people from Hillcrest. Oh, there go them people from Northside Manor. There go them people from Den Leathers. You know what I'm saying? We never got, only type of attention they showed on us is what the bad things would happen.
Yeah.
They don't know about how you could go next door and get sugar from your goddamn neighbor. They don't know how you can go next door and get flour from your neighbor, or how like somebody grandmother, while your parents was gone, they had the big eye on you. They don't know how we took care of community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all low key infiltrate the community. To me, you know what I'm saying? Infiltrate the community, bring all this bad propaganda on the community. That way, it stay full of police. Police ain't there helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? Police don't even know the people in the community, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, there ain't no knocks being knocked on the door. Hey, I'm such and such and such and such from the NAACP, man. How is y'all doing today? What's going on over here? What are some of the problems over here in the community, and what can we help to do about this?
Yeah.
I've never seen none of that. Never seen none of that. And I've since the 8th grade, I've been blackety black, man. Like in a militant way, mentality.
Yeah.
I've been blackety black since the 8th grade, since I had came into knowledge of certain type of things, you know what I'm saying? Mainly concerning us as black people, you know what I'm saying? So I always, in a sense, even though I ain't gonna say I was perfect, but I was always for the betterment of the community, because it was a community that I didn't want to leave. Right. I knew everybody. Not one day in my life did I fear walking through my community. And because I walked from Northside Manor to Miller to go to school, high school. And not one day did I ever feel threatened or that my life was in danger. But if you go to the news, you know what I'm saying? They're going to paint another picture about our community. They're going to say this here, that's going on, and all these different type of things going on. But every time Juneteenth come around, or we have some type of celebration, it shows otherwise, man. That hey, man, we got our brothers and sisters. When there's north side, west side, so-called beef, come together on these type of days, man, and we enjoy each other's company. This is how a lot of us were able to meet each other through this through these Juneteenth celebrations. Like, you would probably didn't even know nobody to the west until you bumped into somebody at Hillcrest Park,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or on the slab, or like we just said, a Juneteenth celebration, or one of these black-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they didn't bring no infrastructure to the community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like for me, it was like they looked at it. Well, they're thriving in this section right here. We're gonna make sure that little section can't thrive no more.
Yeah.
So
That's always the goal,
Yeah.
though. That's how it works. But we did shift to the Cole Park after that, the third year. But that was just because there were a few people, and I don't even think they were still in Corpus, that had a problem with us saying in the crest. They had a problem with the name of it too. Yes, it's all online. And I think it was just, I'm hoping it was just they didn't know who was behind it. Because we had people, they still over there, their own businesses over there that was on the team, then. But yeah, it was a little video, some comments online. There's always comments online. But comments online and stuff like that. So, we was just having a discussion. I'm like, okay, we also getting less money, trying to do more with less money.
Yeah.
So, they got a stage over here at Cole Park. Do y'all want to try that or not? And we can still do our other stuff that we doing as far as going to Elliott Grand, as far as making sure we have an Easter egg hunt, have something big for Easter. We can do these other things at the same time, too. So it just became a discussion. So then, we talked about it. None of that had anything to do with the city or them. Really, they never made it easier on us. The other thing was, like, we're paying for all this stuff. When it came to Hillcrest Park, like, when y'all gonna have these bathrooms fixed? And if y'all ain't got these bathrooms fixed, are you finna pay for some porta potties? But you want me to pay for the park, and it ain't no services like these other parks have services.
Yes.
So we're asking questions like that, and then it became, well, we're gonna go ahead and shut that down. And I think somebody used to hold a key for the bathrooms or something back then too. They stopped that. Once you bring stuff to light too, sometimes they just make a little shift on it. Is what it is. But it was just,
excuse me, was that the city?
Yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah. But that's when, like I said, all of a sudden they're attending more. Or one thing that I didn't like, just me in particular, is they always had these park police over there that I've never seen you come over there before. That was my problem. And one in particular, he had got a little beside himself. And I had like a walking boot on. He's messing with people and messing with things. He messing with the DJ equipment, all the other stuff. No. Like after that, it became, y'all not paying for anything, not giving us sponsorship. You got no part of it.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't have these people over here. And it became, for me, that by that third time, it just became like, okay, I'm not even finna tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm finna pay for the stuff, and that's it. That means it's mine for the day, for the 2 days, for the 3 days, whatever it is. I became, I don't want to have a discussion, at a certain point in time, like, no, I don't like that. That man's still working. I don't like that. If the DJ equipment would have been broke and he coming down from Houston, who gonna pay for that? Y'all gonna pay for that, or we gotta pay for that? Stuff like that was happening. So it became, from that point on, the involvement of the city is what we say it's gonna be. Is what it was. But we did make the shift or the name change just to see if we could have something else, like I was saying. But then there were people that said they had a problem with the Crest Park. So, I respect the people that's still there, and the people that's from there is like, okay, well, what do y'all want to do? So then change the name, that kind of thing.
So y'all were doing Juneteenth in the Crest, but doing it at the park downtown, Water's Edge
Yes.
Park. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I said, okay,
Well, people's problem was that y'all were calling it Juneteenth in the Crest and not doing it in the Crest? Was that
and see, I don't know if they recognize it was in the Crest, and then the name was for the Crest. So they didn't like that part. You saying for the Crest. Didn't really say why, but I think they didn't know the other stuff we're doing on the side too. Like, nobody else is walking around Elliott Grant and then going in the apartments over there across the street and giving them food and giving them stuff and talking to the folks. Nobody's doing that walking. Yeah. And that's what we were doing. Yeah. Like, there's no money, being made, but any little piece of residual we had, that's what we made sure we do, was going to give it to them. And then even like what I was saying with the local talent thing, the premise of that was we making sure everybody, I'm going to give you a love offering. That's what we called it back then. Yeah. Have somebody watch the stuff that we have in the park. I'm gonna pay him too overnight. Yeah. That was we spreading it around,
Yeah.
you know, afterwards from us
Yeah.
to y'all, that kind of thing. But for the crest, I don't think they recognized that part because they didn't speak on it again after that. But I don't think they caught that was the thing. So I can understand they had a problem.
What were the people that had the problem? Were they Corpus Christians?
Some were out of town. They used to be from a neighborhood, and then only maybe a handful were still in town. Yeah, but some of them were live out of town. Yes.
See, and that's like one of my biggest things, man. Like, if you're not doing nothing for the community, you ain't got no business saying nothing about the community, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not participating in the upliftment in the beautification or whatever you want to call it of the community, you have no business saying nothing about the community because, like I said, once again, like I said, there's two black communities here in this city, man, and it's on the north side and it's on the west side. You know what I'm saying? What little that we have now we're all over the place now, but everybody seems to have their community.
Right.
Everybody seems to have their community, man, except for us, man. Mm-hmm. It's like it just reminds me of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these different type of things. Once you see a community thriving, especially in the black community, y'all rather tear that down so we can come asking for the handout. And once again, we don't want no handout. And this is where, like, us as a community, black people need to step in because, in all honesty, y'all shouldn't have to go look for sponsors.
Yeah, look.
This is, and I'm starting to understand. You know, the more we talk, the more I'm understanding because some things are coming out that you're saying. Yeah. That like when it's a Juneteenth type of thing, man, we as a community here in Corpus should be taking care of it because at the end of the day, this is our day. You know how like sometimes we invite people to the barbecue that ain't even supposed to be at the barbecue, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might do a little something. We sit right there and clap. Yeah, they you know, they did this, that, and they did that. But we don't know the underlying reason for this. Right. That nobody does nothing for us without something, some type of compensation or some type of underlying thing. You know what I'm saying? Usually when we're doing something for us, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we're doing it for us because ain't nothing happening for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that like you were just saying a minute ago that you know, y'all brought to the awareness that say, okay, if y'all gonna be doing this, we need to do this, we need to have this, and we need to have this, and we need to have this. That's why we need these black voices, man. That's why we need these platforms that we're having right now that we're like, say, man, as a black Corpus Christian, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to all my fellow black people that make your voice heard, man. Make your voice heard. Sometimes y'all need to go to these city hall meetings, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to go, but they stopped coming to get me because they said I was a little too radical, man. No, facts, bro. Because I would say what the truth was, man. And you know, like you were saying, them old heads on the NAACP, it ain't no new blood up in there. Yeah. This ain't the 50s and the 60s no more, man. We sitting up here in the 2000s now. Y'all only see what's going on. Y'all don't know what's going on. Yeah. Y'all not out here with the youth. Y'all are not out here with the people in their 30s and in their 40s. Y'all don't even give us a second look, man, because y'all already made it to the stage of bourgeois. In that type of mentality to where you really think you're black, but you think you're better than black, and you're still black because when you go into these other communities, they're gonna always look at you. Well, I don't care how much money they got, they still black. Yeah. And that's a fact. That is a fact. So when it comes to like these Juneteenth celebrations and things of this nature, we as a community, from the north, from the west, from where y'all are scattered on the south, or wherever we scattered at, man. You know what I'm saying? When the how can I say when the year y'all like have a yearly meeting? Yeah. For when this come, and where's the meeting held?
Well, we meet every second Thursday of the month. And like the state organization, they have like an annual thing that they do in February, but because of all of this, we're more active, I think, than our state organization or any other chapters they have across Texas. we meet every second Thursday, and that's what I tell people. They kind of think because of the name or the acronym or things like that, like they can't join in. I said, I'm not in higher ed, never been in higher ed. You know, if I'd had a job, it was like a student job. When I had a job, that's it. Anybody can join and help. It's about the mission of it. That's it. But I'm going to say the thing that you said about the social media and taking advantage of that, that's the one thing that I changed. When we're doing like that extra work, the Easter, any of the other stuff, they didn't know. So I started making sure I'm posting pictures and posting the old pictures of what we did so they can understand I'm not calling the news when we're going to do this. You know, that's why you didn't see. So maybe you didn't see, you know, because you don't live in Elliott Grant Homes or whatever else it is. I want to say the opinion did change after that because I'm posting the pictures just on our little social media what we did. But you didn't see it on the news because that's not why we doing it. We just doing it for the love of the people. That's it. So you're not going to see the pictures and all that other stuff. So I made sure I started putting that out there. I would say I haven't seen negative comments after I started doing that. But I can understand why it might have been a little, negative before. They didn't see the other stuff that was going on. So was there a change? I hope it was. I don't know personally, but I hope it was a change after that.
And even as a community, you can't complain if you ain't participating, man.
Yeah.
You can't complain if you ain't participating. And this is like when y'all have these little meetings, man, as a community, we need to be active. Man, do you know, because like you said, they probably going off the higher learning, what's the name like that. Mm-hmm. Man, do you know how many of our, man, I'm about to cry. Do you know how many of our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, grandmothers, and stuff like that didn't have no education?
Yeah.
They wasn't able to get past the 7th or 8th grade like my dad was, man, but he was active. Mm-hmm. When it came to the black community, these people were active, man, because they seen things that we didn't get to see.
Right.
A lot of us, we was born into rights. Mm-hmm. They wasn't born into rights, man.
Right.
They were. You see what it said? What, when was it?
1865.
1865, bro. Mm-hmm. 1865. That's 35 years before the 21st century shot around here, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My dad was born in 1913. Mm-hmm. He was born in 1913, man. It wasn't until 1967 he was able to go vote.
Yeah.
So when we have these type of organizations, we got to be active, man. You got to come and bring your input if there's a problem. This is why some of these organizations exist,
right?
For you to bring your problem there. Mm-hmm. So you can get what you feel that is not right out, or if you feel like this is not going on in the community, so we can get it going on in the community. Because right now, shoot, we ain't even got no community no more. Right. I used to go to all these meetings, and man, probably the youngest two people up in there was me and Jacoby.
Yeah.
We're probably the youngest people in there, man. Mm-hmm. And man, I would listen to the elders talk, and I respect my elders, man. I really do. My mom and my pops raised me to say yes, ma'am, no, sir. To allow them to say what they say, be quiet, don't disrespect them. But I'm an elder today. I'm one of them elders today, and I got to say, man, we need new blood flowing around through these things, man. We need young black activists who want better for the community. You don't have to be rich to be an activist, man. You don't have to be supremely educated to be an activist, man. You don't have to have all these different type of degrees. You don't have to be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X to be an activist, man. All you got to be is somebody who cares about the community. Right. The growth and the development of the community, man. And we see what's going on out here in Corpus Christi with the youth, man. Kids are dying left and right, man. Right. And guess what? They're not even reaching 30 years old, man. True. And you know why? It's because there's no more TCRs. Mm-hmm. There's no more boys. What was that? The boys club in Hillcrest. I think it was a boys club. Yeah. And they had another little weight room right there next to the high alcove. Yeah. Where these kids can go. Mm-hmm. Y'all. There's no more night league basketball where they used to have, where these kids can go, man. You know what I'm saying? we ain't even got the community no more. You know what I'm saying? In as much as some people might not like it, but man, the West is the last of the Mohicans for us right now.
Yeah.
The West side of Corpus Christi is the last of the Mohicans for us right now, man. And as a group of people, man, we need to make sure that at least that lasts, man.
Yeah.
We need to do a lot of participating out there, man. We need to throw a lot of functions at that park, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, we already got the bridge coming over Corpus Christi. They won't go do nothing over there in Hillcrest to you ride down the street by the park, streets all tore up. Mm-hmm. But 2 blocks over this way and 2 blocks over that way, it's new pavement on the street, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know why the South Side is always getting fixed and stuff like that? Because them taxpayers go up there and complain, man.
Yeah.
Y'all, we pay taxes in this area too, man. We need to stop sitting at home and start going to these places and place our complaints, man, so we can get better.
But I'll say this, the city council, and you were talking about the militant thing too, it's to the point now, though, that's why, for me personally, I'm not for going up there and talking to them folks at all. They're not listening. It's to the point where you're going to have to show them. You're going to have to do something militant. I just had this discussion with somebody else because, they did like something in February where we're talking about what it looks like, over there and where is this money at? Where is this money at? So then they had a comment. I just watched the interview back where I made a comment and then they had a comment from the city manager and he said they're going to start in July. So I did make a comment online like, it's the middle of June. I ain't seen no movement yet.
Nothing.
But you're ready to pass something where you want to do some heavy industrial and change the zoning and all of that and close some streets permanently. Yeah. But you haven't started what you need to do with this July. July is almost here. So I think that forced the news to kind of do another story about that too. But nobody's holding anybody's feet over the fire at all when it comes to any of that. And like I said, sometimes stuff goes on behind the scenes. Hialco, you mentioned Hialco. Yeah. So we reformed the board. And what you just have to say is it was people in place doing some things that were for self.
Yes.
Before.
Oh, well, I'm more sure.
Okay.
I know that.
And so even then, after all of this time, my first time sitting down with Park and Rec was this year to have a discussion. It's still, this is us and, y'all separate, but we can have a discussion. I'm going to tell you what I don't like. I'm going over to this park. Y'all don't treat it. Y'all don't cut the grass. Well, it's just some ants. I said, well, yeah, we're talking about Easter and Easter egg hunts, so it matters. The ants matter for the kids. These bathrooms, different things like that, you don't have anything in place or going on over there. So we're having those meetings too. And then now we reformed Hialco and kind of got, some of the people that were in place that were also a part of the NAACP, their names off of things so that we can do something. Nobody knows, Oville, they wrote the grant to build Oville. Yeah. But you took away the key, not really took away the key, when it rekeyed the building so that we don't have access to it. Nobody knows that. That kind of stuff is going on. So we're having these discussions right now where, like you said, like I got a little piece of associate's degree. That's it. But I can understand legally it's some things that's not right. Yes. So either you're going to give this key back or we're going to have the discussion about how you took $250,000 from the black community. It's one or the other. Yeah. The land is donated. The building, Cheyenne Ackelberger wrote the grant for that. Yeah. So now the money yours because you have new people come in. That's the problem with the city. It's always somebody new that comes in and then they try to change it their way without knowing the history of it. And so I told them, presented the whole case, and what I did is had each person that's been there before. I had Miss Mona Lido. I had everybody sitting there to back me up on each thing that I'm saying. They right here. Now, if you can dig it up on paper, that's on y'all. I went and dug it up myself. Y'all go dig up your own paper. But we need to have a discussion on why we're not able to have events there anymore. We have to schedule stuff. They paying out of pocket to have people's birthday. Well, y'all are just having a birthday party for somebody. That's not technically community. What is your definition of community? What is your definition? Because that's a Hialco resident that
Yeah.
you're talking about, and it's Hialco name that we're talking
Yeah.
about. So they're a part of the community. So it's like I said, it be things going on behind the scenes too, where sometimes you can talk and like you said, if we're not fixing to sit down and have a discussion, and I can follow up and see what happened later on this, what's the point of me talking to you? I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing.
Yeah, goddamn
is what
right.
it is. So that's why I said sometimes I'll ask them too, like, y'all sure y'all want me to go speak? Because that's not what the time that I'm on. So even when my mom got up a couple of weeks ago or last week, yeah, she went ahead and said what she said. I have never seen any of y'all come to Juneteenth. Not to say that we haven't invited you, but I always see you at this other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Now, it's one or two that have showed up before, but here I am taking my time to do a proclamation, process a proclamation. You say send you an application so I can go ahead and have you come out, and you want to send your secretary administrative assistant, but you can never come out. I'm going to find a way to have somebody else present it. Thank you anyway, but hey, we're going to keep doing what we doing over here, even if you don't want to participate or show up or anything else. So yeah, my mom had a little discussion in front of them, and even then they'll give you that they're going to get with you right now behind the scenes. That was no better. No better. That was for on the TV and the broadcast.
All this stuff seems to be like from people who are self-centered, man.
Yeah, it's about self. It is.
All these roadblocks and all these, we'll be here and we'll be there. It seems to be from people that are self-centered, man. And because, like, we don't have a youth organization, you know what I'm saying, to where they're taught these things, taught the politics of things, taught social politics, you know what I'm saying, social economics, and how these type of infrastructures run, to have people to go in there and put their foot on these people's necks, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, they're going to continue to railroad anything we try to do here in Corpus Christi. Right. They're going to continue to redline us, anything we try to do here in Corpus Christi, and they're going to continue to feed us the BS, man. Yeah. And long as ain't nobody putting no foot on their neck, they know that this is all I got to do.
Yeah.
This is all I got to do. And I'm not the only one. It's a lot of us that's tired of that shit, man. Yeah. Excuse my French, but it's a lot of us that's tired of that, man, because we know more can be done. Right. And the reason why I say that, because we see everything else that's going on.
Exactly.
We're not dumb, man. We're not dumb. We see everything else that's going on in the city. We see all the where all the money goes, and who gets the most push, and these different type of things, man. You know, and it's a sad situation that, like, we can't get what we need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, y'all continue to. It's just like welfare to me. You know what I'm saying? You just give them enough to keep them complacent.
A little
just
something.
keep enough to keep them complacent. Enough of them to survive. Not enough of them to do better, but enough of them just to survive and get through it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And y'all are satisfied with that. Well, you know what? We're not satisfied no more, man. You know what I'm saying? We want more. We want more opportunities for these youth, the youth that are coming out of these two communities, man, to have a better opportunity at life, man, to understand their history. So maybe they'll know where they come from. They'll know who was here, who fought for them, and things of this nature. So they'll get the mind, oh, you know what? I don't need to be over here. I don't need to be doing this. I need to be educating myself, acquiring certain type of knowledge, maybe going to school, getting my degree, or taking a trade and becoming a business owner, so I can give back to my community, or I can set up things for my community. But no, we snatch these outlets that they are able to go to and things of that nature, so they can't function no more. So they got to be outside. If you When I'm saying outside, I'm not talking about outside. I'm talking about outside. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a sad situation, man. You know what I'm saying? And that we as a people, man, we got to start going to these meetings, man. for ourselves, just to get a glimpse of what's going on. Because like she said, you had an associate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She has no masters, but doing all this groundwork and stuff for the community. And we need to be active as well, including myself, man. But y'all ran me off, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ran me off. And I don't think it was that I was being too militant. It's just I pay attention to what's going on, man, and I know right from wrong.
Right.
And a lot of people, y'all are cool with the wrong. Y'all are sitting on wrong money. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting it back into the community, you putting it in your pockets, man, and that's not cool, man. Not when we're supposed to be building here, man. Not when we're supposed to be able to make a name for ourselves, where these kids can acquire certain type of scholarships and all these different type of avenues for them to do better, man.
Right. Completely agree.
So one of the I know like you were saying that when y'all was doing it in Hillcrest, y'all was like getting local talent. Are y'all still doing that, like for the Juneteenth? Like, not I know y'all bringing like Roe, Carl Thomas. You said the dude with the line dance, stuff like that. But will there be like any? I don't care if they're singers or whatever they may be, whether they poets or anything. But is there any type of new local talent that'll be?
Yeah. On Friday, first of all, the DJ. The one thing that I kind of needed was some female influence in it too. Yeah. We keep having males, as far as the singers and the artists that we're bringing. So we did pick up this DJ that she's local, and that's DJ Audio. I haven't heard her personally, but Mom has seen her, so she was like, "Hey, she's good." Yeah, no, she's good. Okay, so she's good. So we still like Claudia Melton. They whole family. Whole family. Sing. So we made sure. We wanted that R&B vibe, for Sunday before Carl. So we asked Claudia, can you come back out, bring the band, all of that stuff.
That's my homegirl, man.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, Simone, anything you need. So it felt like the right vibe for that. On Saturday, we still bring that Bayou Brass Band, and that's because they've been with us since the beginning, since that 2018. Some people realize that sometimes they see them during Jazz Festival and sometimes they don't. And I think it depends on who's over Jazz Festival as far as their treatment. Yeah. So they love coming back with us. Yeah. They have not charged a different price since 2018 for all of those guys to come at all, period. They just love coming. Even my mom, she's like, y'all want to go anywhere else for Juneteenth? No, we want to come to Corpus again. We want to come celebrate with y'all. And so good, since they love it like that, they automatically on there. We're going to go ahead and have y'all. We're automatically on there. And then Jaren had sent me a message about the song that they had put out. So I said, well, and I haven't listened to it. Yeah. I haven't.
It's like the most popular thing that's going on in the city, man. They've done some and men, like, they caught me off guard, man, Jaren and Corey with that, man, because they've been able to do some major things just off that little song. And I don't know if they was playing or they just like, man, let's go to the studio and make us a little song, man. Or if they really that serious, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen like how, and that's what I mean, how like the city can come together for something, man. And like, if I'm not mistaken, I came up, me and Chris Brown was at work today, and I was talking about, I was like, yeah, man, shoot, it's gonna be over 100 some people there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, for me, that'd be a lot for the trail ride, man. But Jaren posted, man, I done had over 700 people contact me, man.
Yeah, seen somebody talking about they coming in from out of town
for this trail ride, man. So you can't tell me, man, that like these things can't be done, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These things can be done, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I consider, because I'm a lot older than Jaren and them, I always consider them part of the youth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's doing something to bring the people together here. You know what I'm saying? Because you have, you look at that the posts and stuff like that, man. It's all type of people talking about this trail ride, man.
I got a question for her about all that stuff too. Going back to from when y'all were doing it at Hillcrest and y'all were just doing local acts. So what made y'all even want to expand and be like, okay, let's bring the who was the first like big act that y'all
Actually, the first one, and that was just me trying it.
Charlie Boy?
Yes, Charlie Boy and Cupid was the first.
Okay,
one.
I remember that. I was at that one too. Okay.
So, and I was just trying to connect some dots, and that's what like.
Was that
like,
what you just thinking in your mind? I want to do it a little bigger.
Yes, because see, like, and like I said, there's always somebody online with an opinion. Somebody commented the other day, like, if y'all gonna be promoters, y'all need to do this, and that. And I'm like, I'm not a promoter.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. That's first of all.
Yeah.
Me, what I've been doing just to get any of these people is just contacting them myself and see how I can do this contract. And I think people understand that, especially if they do music, locally. Yeah, we don't have no experience in that. This is about getting people out to Juneteenth.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. So it was my goal. Actually, I want to have something on the beach is the goal. I know that'll take some little finesse with the city and all the other good stuff with that. But that was my ultimate plan, was to do something on the beach. But somebody that I knew something having to do with Cupid. It was either Cupid, John B, or Genuine, something at the time. So I said, let's try Cupid, little Universal, get everybody out there, that kind of thing. And then I saw he had done something with the Charlie Boy. So I contacted his manager. And this is just me talking to people directly. Like, I don't know any of these people at all.
No, nothing about the move and the shake. You just doing what you can do, man.
But I know, like you said, I know what sound right and what sound wrong.
Yeah.
Like with Juvenile, a lot of people don't know. That was the most terrible experience I've ever had behind the scenes in my life. It was the worst.
Would you say that was a bad decision on your part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because I feel like that made people take a look at it. I feel like,
okay.
But see, people don't understand. Before him, the person that I was trying to get was Kiki Wyatt. Yeah. But that's when COVID happened.
Yeah.
So Kiki didn't work out. So the next time, something was telling me Juvenile, and then you'll hear different things are going on. I always keep my ear to the ground. I heard he was going to do the Tiny Desk. I heard they were considering for Essence, the next year, things like that. So I was trying to figure out, like, should I not? And then for some reason, I had never seen that last house party. And then I saw it. I said, oh, no, that's meant to happen. I'm going to keep contacting his manager until he responds. And because at first he wasn't responding at all. So he finally did. And I was like, listen, I want him, but hey, can he do a clean show? Oh, yeah, he can do a clean show, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. None of that went right behind the scenes. It was some mess from when they landed until he got on stage until after he went home. It was, oh my goodness. And then the thing is, people from Louisiana that are here now, or people that have worked with him before, they knew and didn't say anything. So I'm getting the DMs afterwards. How was he behind the scenes? Like, why you didn't tell me? You knew like it was gonna be a struggle. Why you didn't say something? Like, let me know ahead of time so I could prepare. Cause it was never took a picture, never met the man, but paid him some money.
Yeah.
Couldn't even pay him. Had to pay somebody else that I do not know. I said, you must think I'm crazy. Who is this? I don't know that person. You just sending somebody downstairs and want me to count out some stacks? Like, no, you're gonna have to give me his name. I need to see your ID. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's gotta be something.
Yeah.
And it didn't even match the name on the room. He told me his nickname instead of what we had on the room.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know you. Like, who? Somebody else on this list need to come down here.
That's fine that you stand on business like that, because I understand that. I know, like, and this is like my thing. You know what I'm saying? This is our barbecue, man.
Right.
This is our barbecue. Who we invite is who we invite because they are part of black culture. You know what I'm saying? For me, Juvenile was a good look, man. You know what I'm saying? I know the
definitely a good look, but I'm just gotta keep it 100. Sitting in the crowd, I was like cringing, just seeing the crowd and hearing the words, and I'm like,
I was like,
but it was definitely a good look.
And he was mad off of the plane, so that continued.
Was he mad because y'all asked him to do clean music?
He was mad because of what the city before had done to him. Is what is explained from the manager later. And I'm like, why he come in like that? He came in like that because of what I think he was in Virginia somewhere or something like that. whatever they did, he was upset. So the manager had called us like, if y'all could just, work with him a little bit. He a little upset. A little? You should have told me what it really was when he made that phone call. I'm not willing to get in this car. I'm not going. I need my 6 bottles of liquor. All of that. And I was like, golly. Like, I thought it would be a good look. It was a good look. And like you said, though, too, getting calls from the city, they're like, oh, we heard, we got phone calls. Who called you? Tell me who called you. Don't just say we got phone calls. Matter of fact, if you get any more phone calls, send them my way. Let's do that. Well, I'm an R&B fan. That's good for you. That's good for you. That's exactly why I scheduled Slim Thug the next year. Because of that. I don't want to hear that. Because they didn't want the rap. That's what they kept saying. And it's what they say in the conversation. You can read between the lines. Yeah. That's what you didn't like, was he was a rapper. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to announce next year. We're going to see what happens.
And even with Corpus Christi, just even backing it up to the rapper part, the city, as a city, never wanted to give rappers a chance.
Yeah.
Never. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It go back to when I was, when we had this when we was doing the podcast one time, and I was telling, man, y'all gotta for the city of Corpus Christi, the rappers, y'all gotta respect those who was rapping before y'all, man, because we were here when only place you could rap was at school or on the block. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We pushed to get in the clubs. Mm-hmm. We remember when the clubs didn't even want to let us rap in there. They didn't want to let us. And you had guys like Havo, you know what I'm saying, who got us in the club. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, now y'all able to get in the clubs now. Rappers were, from my era, were doing commercials here in the city when didn't nobody want to mess with us. Period, man. You got dudes doing commercials for Love Chrysler Plymouth. You know what I'm saying? Way back in the day. Now, that's not happening no more. I'm just saying that, speaking of rappers, that y'all gotta respect the dudes who came before y'all, man, because we put in a lot of work for y'all to be able to get in the clubs today. Now y'all got shows every other, 3-4 months. 3-4 weeks or something. Somebody's somewhere doing a show when they ain't even want you in here. Yeah. And then the city still don't want it. I can say it's still the powers that be really don't want y'all want it here, man, because why? Look, you know what I'm saying? There's only a handful of us in the city. So because we don't have nobody doing no fighting for these type of things, they can play with us any kind of way they want to. They can deny us every time. Every time. These are people, we're part of this city too. You're trying to deny us things that are part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? Rap music didn't start out with the way it is today, man. Mm-hmm. Rap music started out with a lot of knowledge being kicked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, if you would look at the videos, you would see all the rappers, especially on the East Coast rappers, in HBCU clothing, sweaters and stuff like that. So, and majority of them were college was rappers that was in college. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So don't try to how you say change our narrative what goes on in the black community, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of educated people in the black community. It's a lot of people in the black community that does things. Treat our community the same way you treat our community the same way you treat your community. Because guess what? Your community has the same thing going on in our community. Same thing that we have going on in our community. But y'all just hide it better. Yeah. Y'all don't throw it on the news like y'all throw us on the news. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't throw the women that's being abused on the news like y'all throw the stuff on the news. Y'all don't throw the killings within y'all family circles the way y'all throw our stuff on the news. Y'all keep that stuff silent because y'all control the media. Mm-hmm. Y'all control these situations. You know what I'm saying? So y'all try to downplay the North and the West. That's why today's youth, y'all need to start being active, man. Y'all need to start appreciating where you come from, man, and try to protect your community and try to keep it a thriving community instead of bringing the property value down, man. So because once the property value down, who coming after that. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And be involved, even if you ain't like a vendor or anything at the Juneteenth. Show up.
Just show up, man.
Make
support it.
See your people, like you say, man. going to South Bluff Park I'm 10, 11 years old and it just felt so good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to see my people. Just having a good time.
Man, I told you that first time I went to that Juneteenth, I think it was about 10 or 11, maybe somewhere around there. Hillcrest became my goal. Our 10 years, being 10-year-old ain't nothing like these 10-year-olds today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be pampered, man. We knew we were little young 10 years old, man. We be waiting up at the Holiday Inn. We come from Northside Hillcrest now that we wait up here at the Holiday Inn at the farthest parts of the beaches at that cold park. Not with no parents, but by ourselves, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at all the houses that's down Ocean Drive. Yeah, they nice, they live. I know that they're mansions. But Hillcrest is my destination because why? The people look like me over there. Mm-hmm. The people who understand me are right there. If I need something, I can knock. My mama can send me to one of the neighbor's door. Crown, go get ask Miss Gladys for some flour. I go knock on Miss Gladys' door and get some flour. You know what I'm saying? You gonna stay with Miss Josie while I run to the store right quick. Right. Miss Josie got me. You know what I'm saying? I can go up to Butler and them house or the Marvin Miller and them house when ain't nobody at my crib and go eat. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Even though they got big families and I was taught if it's enough for one, it's enough for two. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do in our community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how we've had to survive and thrive, man. We know how to take care of each other. And we got to get back to that, man. Yeah. We got to get back to taking care of each other. We got to get back to protecting everything that we have. Because, look, man, I tell you this. When it comes to the black community, man, here in the United States, your immigrants wouldn't be able to come over here if we didn't fight for it. The LGBT community wouldn't have nothing going on if black folks didn't. If the black folks didn't fight for equal marriages and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of stuff that didn't nobody stand up and fight for, bro. Right. Y'all sat on the sideline, man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of y'all today are still racist. But you would have no rights if it wasn't for us. Yeah. If it wasn't for us screaming, fighting, cussing, and hollering, man. Yeah. They would say, man, you'll still be an immigrant. Or you'll still be one of the people of color that wasn't allowed in the store.
Or gay having to hide behind the closet still. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look, bro, we fought for all of these things, bro.
See, people just fix that Civil Rights Act.
Look, this is what they don't understand, man. People hate us so much, man. But it's the death of one of us. It's the rape of one of us. It's the redlining of one of us that gave y'all opportunity. Right. Mm-hmm. They gave y'all opportunity who don't look like us, but you still have the nerve to be racist. Right. Yeah. You still have the nerve to hold something against us, but it's our blood that got you where you are today. Because why? Your people didn't fight. True. Your people stood on the back end and took whatever y'all took, while we fought and died for it, man. Right. What man? This is not. And I ain't trying to be like. I'm just speaking the truth. What no Hispanics out there marching with us, man. With Martin Luther King and all of them, man. Y'all wasn't going to war like that, man. Y'all got a problem with. And I'm not with this deportation type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's going on with ICE. I don't like how it's being ran or none of that type of stuff, man. But you can't have beef with the black community behind that, man. Right. And there's a lot of beef with us behind that. But god dang, 96% of the black voters voted for that woman, man. Right. Yeah. She got 96% of the black vote, dog. Yep. You feel what I'm saying? While your people, 56% of the men voted for him, and 54% of your women voted for him, man. Your beef ain't with us, bro. Right. Your beef ain't with us, and then y'all want us to go out there and participate in the marches. I just got through watching a black woman who got her gardener brought back. Yeah. Brought back to the United States. Spent her money. Her family got that man brought back. You see what I'm saying? Do y'all know if black people came out there and participated with y'all in this ICE thing, y'all know what will happen? Bullets will start flying.
Yep.
The police will start shooting at y'all. Bullets will start flying, man.
Yeah.
Bullets will start flying. Y'all don't want, believe me, y'all don't want us to participate. Whatever y'all need us to do on the back end, say something. Mm-hmm. But participate, y'all don't want us to do that, man. Because you're going to start losing family members. Because y'all got to realize every time black people stand up, man, we lose family members. Mm-hmm. Every time black people stand up, look, y'all got the, man, I'm looking at Houston. They got the whole, the catwalks blocked off with signs. Mm-hmm. Ain't no police out there. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Boy, if it was black people out there, what y'all doing there with y'all, man, they gonna shut y'all shit down. Right. Y'all ain't gonna have no voice. Because this is what happens when we stand up and fight, man. Mm-hmm. When we stand up and fight for everybody, this is what happens.
That happened during George Floyd, too. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. Like, they were calling us, like, hey, we need to get a march together. I'm like, that's all well and good. What we doing for the family, something like that. So we said how we going to give them some money and all that good stuff. But snipers on the roofs, helicopters, drones, like stuff. I'm like, wait, where'd that come from? They it's a good network of some folks behind the scenes. I will say that.
It is, man.
They're telling me, hey, it's some plain clothes they brought in from out of town. They're on the bus. They dropping them off. That's the bus over there. If you look across from you, telling me everything while it's happening because I didn't see it. I'm not recognizing it. And I'm like, what is this, an exercise? Like, why would you think you need to do that? Is because of this? It's got to be because of this. It's not because of this organization name. What's threatening about that at all?
And then, and I think the Hispanic community is starting to feel this. Y'all got these Antifa people out here. You know what I'm saying? They walking, man, when they had the little the thing down there for at the city hall.
City hall.
You know what I'm saying? When they had they out there. Could you imagine, bro, if it was 6 or 7 black men out there with guns, man? They'd have shut that shit down.
Hey, and they contacted me, the same guys, and like, hey, we trying to be respectful. You want us? I said, don't bring them guns over here. Don't bring them guns at all. What you need it for? What for? And they're talking about the counter protesters. And I said, hey, if they come to them, I'm gonna tell them the same thing. Y'all need to go on with that. We had one counter show up. One. And some of our folks that deal with us, it was Colton, some other folks walked with him. He got in his truck and went on.
Yeah, I had words with him. I was there. He came over there. I say, look at him, man. This ain't the time for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I be on one. Y'all, I'll be one of the ones you're gonna have to drag to the police station. I'm telling you the truth. That's what I be on, man. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, that's what I'm on all the time. Yeah. I'll be the one to take to bite the bullet for us, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna, because I know what we're trying to do, man. Right. I know what we're trying to do. I know how don't nobody really want to help us, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna front this little new generation out here. They be riding. This little new generation of Hispanics out here, they be riding. I can't catch a black kid and a Hispanic kid not together, or a little mixed kid not together these days. You know what I'm saying? They everywhere with each other. This little generation, but you know that 20-year generation that came before them, they still got a little racism in them, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They still holding some animosity behind nothing that we ain't got nothing to do with, man. Right. Y'all are able to vote and do these things and all these things off the blood of my people, man.
Mm-hmm. True.
When did y'all go to a 3-day weekend?
We just, like I said, I want to make the beach thing happen. That's the ultimate goal. Go ahead and say that. The 3-day thing, I had been thinking about it. So then they were saying it was the 160th anniversary, and like I said, I'll be trying to talk to people and let them know, when they have questions about Juneteenth, there was some comparison. Our big thing we have here is Buck Days. And I'm going to say, well, I'm going to tell you this predates that. I'm going to tell you they was celebrating having a festival like this way ahead of that, way ahead of when they started that. So I said, let's try it, see what happened, and see if we like that, see how the community comes out, that kind of thing. And like I said, we try to do like we're taking resources to the people where it need to be. There's too many people getting diagnosed and dying of breast cancer. And then right when it's always something happens around that time. So here we are, decide we're going to do this. And then we see Ananda Lewis passes away from that. It's always something that happens like that. So we're trying to, and I'm trying to push all the churches, the black females. Like I'm 43. I'll tell you right now, you're supposed to start at 40. I didn't know that. You know, the doctors sometimes they're not telling us all the things that we need to know. Certain things you're supposed to be getting done by certain ages.
They want your organs.
Right. Look. You know what? That keeps popping up in my stories and my feed about where they sterilize all those black women and about Tulsa and all that. So that's why I was like, we finna have it on site. There's no reason you cannot be here. You can go watch Zero. Before you go watch Zero, go to that bus over there.
Yeah, talk about some of the resources that y'all have on.
That's just what I was getting ready to ask. I was gonna ask you like who are like outside of like if there's any like black community type sponsors outside of that, who else like y'all get help from?
Look, I'll say this, like everybody knows and sees that we do HEB, but we have HEB because there's an actual woman that was over this whole Gulf Coast area. Her mom was from the hood, knows my mom too. We didn't know that was her daughter. And HEB been sticking with us every year. And it's because of that young lady. And we didn't realize the connection. They're from Corpus. And we found out that connection. So last year, she passed away, young lady.
Hey.
Young lady passed away. But we didn't know there was that connection there. That, her mom from Corpus. She from over there. And we had no idea. HEB has always stepped in. They'll never have any place for me. HEB will never. If you say you need something, okay. Tell me what you need. You need some gift cards. You go get you some sandwich trays or whatever else. You need some water. Tell me what you need. They're always for it. Always for it. So now I understand the people that they had over diversity. They had black people over diversity. Yeah. Even at the national level, they have a black man over diversity. And they haven't changed any of that. You know, considering what's going on with the voting, they haven't changed none of it. None of it. So they always gonna have my support. They haven't changed any piece of that. I try to encourage the sororities and fraternities to participate too. So this year they have bought space and they're gonna do like their scholarship presentations and things like that.
That's cool.
I've tried years ago. You know, there's only so much, like I said, that I'm trying. Look, I'm trying to do this. So what I'm gonna do is send y'all an email. Can y'all get together and come on out? Like you out there in your colors and everything. Anyway,
man. Like,
going to get a booth or something else. You know,
and that'll be good for the youth to see, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think like people realize how important it is for the youth to see successful black people. We got to put these differences aside, man. We got to put these differences aside, man. We really got to listen to the youth, man, because they out here going through it, man. Yeah. We losing them, man. We really losing them. I never thought, you know, I ain't gonna sit up here and say that I was an angel. I'm not, man. I'm far from it. But when I tell you, man, what we're losing out here is precious kids, man. Young kids, young mothers, young fathers, man. Whether they black or brown, to this thing that's out here, you know what I'm saying? To what we're losing them to, man. We losing very important people who could possibly make a difference in these communities, man, and make things better, man. You know what I'm saying? And we need to see, these kids need to see, not even just kids, man. You need, like, I don't care if you've been to prison, man. You need to be out there with a booth talking to these kids about, look, man, this is what's out here. This is what's going on right here, man. Do you want this or do you want that? Because this is what you headed for. Right. We gotta whatever negative that we've come across in our life, we gotta learn to turn those things into positives, man, in order to save the youth, in order to build the community, to make it even stronger. Because we all got that one family member who went this way, and we got the other family members that way, that went that way. That don't make neither one of them better than the other. It's just decisions was made. Right. You know what I'm saying? Wrong decisions was made. Still good people, just wrong decisions was made, man. And we all, whatever type of walk of life we come from, man, we all need to be active and participating in days such as such as Juneteenth, when y'all have the thing for Easter out there in the park, because I passed by this past Easter, or was it this past? I don't know if it was this past Easter.
It was rain this past Easter.
Yeah, I don't think it was this. I think it was last year's Easter, man. That I had passed by, man, and I'm just like, man, there should be more people out here than this, man. You know what I'm saying? Even on back to school when y'all doing the giveaways and stuff like that, it need to be more people out there, not just to be coming out there to get gifts, but for networking, support. You know what I'm saying? Being there for each other. I always said this too, man. The black church controls the black community, man.
Yeah.
The black church controls the black community, because that's where you get all your money from, the black community, man. And y'all, the black church needs to be active in the black community, man. Y'all need, you ain't got to be out. You don't necessarily have to be coming out here with your Bible, thumping your Bible on people and stuff like that, because we know people are different ways. But just to show support, man. You know what I'm saying? To even to see a youngster that's struggling, and just to sit to talk to him. You don't gotta necessarily talking about how you gotta give his life to God, but just you're majority of y'all are successful individuals, man. You gotta show these people how they can turn their life around, how they can turn a negative into positive, man. Because I've always said that the black church controls the black community, man. You control a lot of where it go, man. You know what I'm saying? Either people gonna come to your church, or you're gonna show them something that they're not gonna come, man. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get people into the church and to do better, man, and I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I've been since I was 26 years old, which makes now I turned 53. That's been over half my life. But at the same time, and the youngsters will tell you, all the youngsters will tell you, Creon don't tell them nothing wrong, man. Creon don't tell them nothing wrong. I'm always getting in their ear, trying to lead them down a better path, man, or to try to show them what type of business things that they can do, you know what I'm saying, to get themselves out of this type of situation, because I know what a lot of these youngsters do. You know what I'm saying? I'll be telling, like, man, you don't have to do this no more, man. You can actually start doing this if you got just a little money saved, and you can take your family out of this condition, man, and things of that nature. And I'm not no how could you say it? I'm not an educated person, you know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody who's like the church is, like a deacon or things, stuff like that, man, who I feel like the youth really need to see, man, to be in their face and to be active, man. A lot of times, we'll get shut down, but that's all right, man. That's all right. You save one, man, you doing your job, man.
Right. It needs to be more of a presence with the churches.
Yes.
That's one thing I kind of feel like should have happened this year, too. I don't even want you to share this. We have a bunch of Sundays in June. Yeah. Share that mammogram thing for me. And I need to see how many of y'all did that. Yeah. Can't say how many actually did that. Make the announcement. I don't care if they show up on site. I did want them to register ahead of time, but at least make the announcement for me. You ain't got to say Juneteenth Festival. Free mammograms on these particular dates. Come on out there.
Oh, shoot. You can even, man, y'all got all this type of transportation. You could inform the women in the community, load up that bus, and make sure they all come down there and get their mammograms and things of that nature, man. It's just so much we could do more as a people, man, that we refuse to do, man. And because we refuse to do, man, we continue to sink, man. And that's why people play with us the way they play with us.
Oh yeah,
man.
that definitely is. And then I feel like, and I don't want to speak that into existence, but like you said about the youth being lost, but we also have our elders there aging out.
Yeah.
Some of them having issues. That's how we ended up taking over some of the other parts of Juneteenth, was because those folks were like, okay, got too old. One of them passed away. Another one, her mind was going a little bit. That was happening. So we take it over. I think I'm the youngest in the group. So then when I'm saying we need to have something to attract these young folks, so okay, Slim Thug, okay, Zero, they're not with it, but it's just me standing alone.
You do it right.
They know and realize it.
You got to give the youth something. You got to, with the youth, man, you got to give them an attraction, man, in order to get them to move, man.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Diversity too. You have Mexicans, white people coming out to see to a Juneteenth festival.
Yeah. That's why I'm picking who I'm. So that's why I felt like Cupid If you look at the crowd on that, yes, mixed crowd. So then I thought about it, and I thought Charlie Boy too at the time too. And I said, okay, they're gonna come out and see him for sure. And so then when I said Juvenile, I said, okay, that does cross over. So I'm gonna see how many come out. So that's why from there I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try Slim, see what happened. And then we had been talking about Zero the past couple of years. I just didn't think he could do a clean show. Loretta has been like, hey, we need to bring Zero because she loves Zero. And they were like, oh, no, he could do a clean show. I was like, yeah, look, I listen to Zero. What clean show is he finna do? So they're like, no, ma'am, he could do a clean show. I was like, okay, you know, I'm trusting it. I'm trusting it.
I think I seen Zero, like, don't say the words before at a show. You know what I'm saying? I if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen it one time do a clean show. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Look, I told him, I said, I'm gonna trust you. Like, I don't care. Like, if them city people start talking again, oh well, it is what it is.
This is us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
You just say, man. I listen to a lot of country music at work. I listen to a lot of rock at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm very diverse with the music that I listen to. Say, man, some of it ain't no different than what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? So. But I do think, you know, with a lot of these organizations, we need to get some new blood in there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that people got to be 19, 20 years old. I'm just saying, you know, we need some 30-year-olds up in there, man. Some late 20-year-olds up in there, you know, to at least, you know what I'm saying, to show the elders where life is going now, man. Because once again, I say this ain't the 50s and the 60s no more. Things are a lot different now, man.
Yeah, that's what happened with Hayako. I called myself fixing to dig up all the documents and records. And like I said, everybody else is older than me on the board now. Compared to the people that were on the board before, it was just 3 individuals. Like I said, so we switched and changed all that. Me, I'm thinking I'm going to make a Google Drive so they can see all this stuff. And I'm having to remember, like, okay, I got to actually print out these documents and show them this is where the money should have went, should have gone, you know, stuff like that's going on. And I keep thinking there's going to be a gap because we don't have any of the young folks kind of stepping in, you know, to even if you just sit and listen and participate. That's the one thing I'll say, like, my mom always had me there. So if I saw how someone's going to try her, then I understand what that means when somebody tries me, you know, later on. We don't have that. And there's going to come a time, like my mom said, she's like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it next year. And I'm like, you have to, you know, like, who else is going to plan this to death, you know, besides us? She's like, nope, I'm giving it to somebody else. But there's nobody else to step in. But that's why I reach out like I do. I don't, like I said, I ain't know Javon. Send him a message. It's some folks, once I saw the West Side thing and I want them to come too, I reached out to some of them. Don't know some of them either. But I just send them a message. I don't know you. We fixing to have something. Y'all want to come help, participate. And they did when we had it at Cole Park. They did behind the scenes. So we need to have something to kind of to close this little gap that's fixing to happen. Because I can just see it's going to happen. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. There are a lot of them that are strong on social media. Those are the ones that I think should step forward a little bit. They got a little, you know, steam behind them and things like that. So that's why even with Juvenile, when they approached us, who was it, J Boogie and K Renee, said, okay, we're going to come on. And then, you know, I'm having to still convince the group because they're hearing the music and they're like, no, all that cussing and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I think it'll be a good look. Like, let's go ahead and do these two and see what happens. I mean, that's all we can do is see what happens. But they're like, I don't know. and it's because, and then we're all female. There are no males participating in this stuff at all. I was going to remind you about the other thing that we had at the town hall when they were talking about having guns in the community college. And we're trying to make sure we had all males. It was the Black Police Officers Association, and you and Jacoby. You came to support Jacoby. And like, even then, we're trying to reach out to get people like, y'all come talk to them. Some of these black men are from out of town. Some are from in town. You need to have that discussion about what's going on so they know. We're trying, but like I said, and it's always all female. You know, it's us coordinating. And they're, you know, older females.
That's one. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you said that too. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, man. You know what I'm saying? Every time something is being organized, it's always the goddamn women, man.
Yeah, they're putting it together.
It's always the goddamn women, man.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I had a few issues with like that Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
What's the name? You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like it was a man who got killed. You know what I'm saying? And I have an opinion on George Floyd too, and it might not be liked, so I ain't gonna even talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like every time something happens to a black man, you know what I'm saying? It's always the women who jump. Now, man, this is a man. This is a man. Men got to start standing up, man. We got to start organizing and coming together, man. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the Malcolms and the Martins, man? Now we got the Bettys and the Corettas.
Yeah.
For real. It's the Bettys and the Corettas who doing all the talking, man. The men ain't coming out for nothing, bro. And the men that I do see out are way past their prime, man. They backs are bad, knees bad. They got canes, face full of gray and stuff like that. No, man, we need brothers out there for real, man.
Yeah.
Because this is our lives. You know what I'm saying? This is our lives. Me personally, the George Floyd situation, man. I'm just too black for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna let you gonna literally they'd have to hog tie me. Because you're not supposed to put your leg on my neck like that, and I'm not supposed to cry for my mama, man. You know, I just have some things about being a strong black man and it's things that you're not gonna allow to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. That's another thing. But black men need to show up to these functions, man.
Yeah.
Y'all don't, bro. Y'all don't. Like I said, the only time when I would go, man, the only two young people there, and I'm not young. You know what I'm saying? But I'm younger than the guys that are there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm younger than them, and they think I'm talking crazy, man. No, I'm spitting facts. Y'all can't do what I do. That's why y'all against it, man.
Yeah.
Which means that it's time for y'all to sit down and let some new blood come up in here, man.
Right.
Some people that's willing to truly stand up.
Right.
In order for us to have something better, man. Literally, in order for us to have something better. But what I did want to ask concerning what's the name of the organization again?
It's TAFE. Texas Association of Black Personnel in Higher Education.
Okay. What like a part of that organization do they help young entrepreneurs and things of that nature?
No, that's not a part of their mission. They really, it's about blacks in higher ed.
Okay.
What it was founded on over 50 years ago is they weren't treating students the same, having the same events, having anything for them.
Okay.
Faculty, not giving them tenure, all the different things that they were doing. So it became like a voice for them is what it was and what it was founded on. And then when they saw something happening on the Capitol, how they just tried to redline this or redline that, that's when it is, okay, we're going to show them we 300, 400, 500, 600 strong. Yeah. And we disagree with what you're trying to do as far as it's concerned. That's what the premise of it was when it first started. Yeah.
Okay. So, y'all concentrate on like the youth and stuff like that, getting treated fairly in the schools and things like that, and pushing for like higher education and things of that nature. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And I'm forgetting what we did when we first started trying to do. Every time something happened though locally that concerned African Americans, something's going wrong, they started reaching out to us versus NAACP. How it's supposed to be.
Yeah, how it's supposed to be, man.
We don't have that, under our purview. We trying to concentrate on this and getting these kids into higher ed so they're prepared. So then it became, having some of that. We started having that program at Coles, I forgot, where we had like a boys and had these men, come talk to the boys, in the gym, do a full day of activities, that kind of thing. Expose them to these men. They talking about going down the wrong path and things like that. And then we did something for the girls on the second day because Coach Jay want to see something happen, you know, she called us like, y'all come help. So then it became something until they shut down using, you know, the rec center. They shut all that down. Of course, that's what happened with the city next. Yeah. Was that it got shut down. Then we're moving it somewhere else. You know, that's just how it is. Had it at Del Mar, had something like that. And then, you know, where's the community anymore? Where's those kids? You know, I even tried myself, like going back through the sheets to see if I could email them, you know, contact them, that kind of thing. So we were having stuff so we could make sure we're talking to these kids before they get to high school too. Yeah. Because that's when it's happening. Yeah, that's what, it's happening in middle school. And now they say even earlier now. Now it's 10 years from then. Now it's down to elementary school. I've never heard of kids not going to school, elementary school.
Man, look, man. It's wild out here. And I think that the reason that being, man, is like, it's a lot of single women out here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, a lot of them mothers have to be at work before the child go to school, so they're expecting the child to go walk to school with their friend or get on the bus. Child not even going to school, man. And education is being lost. There's nobody to push them. That's why we need mentors out here, man. Like for real, man. Especially with these young boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these young boys, man. You know, one thing that I knew I paid attention to, like, later on in life, women can get their stuff together, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watch this. I watch coming, you know, from the hood when all the hood activities was going on and the females was involved and the dudes was going off to prison or getting locked up. And all these girls, they used to be involved in all the hood antics, but now they're registered nurses and they're all this. They're able to get their life alone because they ain't went down that. Even though they was active, they not going down that road that the guys are going. Down. And then once you get down that road, man, you mess off so many chances to even opportunity of getting your life together. Now you got to work the dead end job. You know what I'm saying? I'm an example of that. And this is why I try to talk when I get in these circles of these young kids, man, like, boy, you better get your job because when you get old, Social Security might not be around. And if it is still around and you ain't never worked a day in your life, you think you finna get this kind of check, boy, you gonna be getting a $75 check, man. You know what I'm saying? Your savings, your other part of your savings is in your Social Security, man. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, man. And we lose so many young males to that system, man, and once you get caught in that system, man, it make it hard for you to change your life. You're gonna have to go, God willing, you get an opportunity to get a refinery job. You know what I'm saying? And able to get to the bag, and you know what I'm saying. But then on top of that, you need money management skills. You need you need to learn all these other skills because you still having a mentality where I'm still in these streets. You spending your money recklessly. You know what I'm saying? And the difference between the streets, you can stay out there in the streets and do what you do, but shoot, y'all might get laid off over here and it ain't no ends left. You know what I'm saying? So you need money management and things of that nature, man.
Yeah. And there's nobody stepping in doing that. No. I say not one organization. And like I said, the most we can do is try, put something together. And we try to do stuff to make sure they show up. Like we got a little grant. Let's do some TSI math. Yeah. They show who's lacking in the math skills and what you need before it's time to get to college. Yeah. And we're doing it for us. That's not who showed up, for these classes. It's free. I'm paying for it. Just come show up. Yeah. Just give me a day. The teacher, she's black. She's got a whole system. She gonna make you pass that test. Yeah. And I still can't get you here for free. Just show up. Just give me 2 Saturdays. Let me have 2 Saturdays. I'll get you to pass. Not us. Not
you know what's so crazy? Like when we used to have when Dickie used to throw how do you say it, like little awareness type of things, or what I'm saying, little giveaways and stuff like that when she had the Trap House Kitchen open, man. We really doing this for our people, man, and those that are in this community, man. All the people that would show up don't look like us.
Oh, not at all. And see, I was like, I didn't hear about it, and so I said, well, no, I gotta figure something to give, and let's set up a tent, And at first, it was just gonna be me there, like nobody else, knew about the date or anything else. And then I think I had 2 people show up. I don't care what I give to them. I'm gonna give them some information about that class that I'm giving for free too. But then, like you said, I didn't see us there. So I'm like, okay, I'm still giving stuff away about Taffy and about this free class, but we're not there and showing up. And I was wondering, was something else going on?
Man,
Where were we?
We don't show up, man. We don't show. Look, we're gonna support all these clubs. We'll go support the mall. We'll go support all these different other entities where the people who own them do not look like us. But when us get something, man, we won't even go support us, man.
Right.
Y'all, we'll be still tied up into high school beefs, junior high beefs, club beefs, and things like that. Man, we done already got it to an age where we ain't even living life like that no more, man. And in order for the community to thrive, we got to learn to support each other, man. You know what I'm saying? And then when that support comes, black people, we can't forget, we got to put back into the community that support us, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? We just can't be taking everybody money and splurging, man. You know what I'm saying? God gives people money for one reason and one reason only, man. It's not just for you, but it's also to help the people that can't help themselves, man. Mm-hmm. And that's what that's one of the things we taught in Islam, that, you know what I'm saying, that when God bless you with money, it's not what you think it's for, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? He created some people to be rich. He created some people to be poor. Those who he let rich, man, he gave you that to help the poor, man. It's not really too much about you, man. And we kind of lack that, man. We don't, like I say, man, like you can't go next door and borrow sugar from nobody no more. No. People too stingy. You know what I'm saying? People too greedy.
You like you goddamn weird.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ask yourself, like, bro, do you even know your neighbor today? Mm-hmm. Like, do you and your neighbor sit in the backyard, barbecue, drink, or whatever it is that, you know, that neighbors used to do back in the day, man? No, man. No. Since I had moved out of North Side and stayed here and stayed there, stayed all over Corpus Christi, man, don't you know I did not know my neighbor? Just we all just go and come.
Yeah. I believe
go and come. Just go and come, man.
Believe it.
Okay, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just wanted to run through all the events.
Okay.
Y'all still having the basketball tournament and all that?
No. Okay. We couldn't get anybody to sign up for the basketball tournament. Okay. And I don't know. And it's always, I got to come up with something to entice. So that's why I was like, I don't know what kind of cash prize to offer, that kind of thing. So nobody had signed up by a little deadline, so we kept pushing. The original idea was basketball tournament. I was trying to get a barbecue thing together.
Like a cook-off?
Yeah, something like that. And then I was trying to have something to bring in the churches too. That's why I said you were speaking to everything I was thinking of. We were thinking like sweet potato bake-off or something like that. Sweet potato pie bake-off, something like that.
I've been judging that, boy. That's my pie, boy. I've been judging that, boy.
We were trying to make, and like I said, it's just, this time we did have a lot less resources trying to make the 3 days happen. And like you said, you know, sponsors are great, you know, but sometimes it's just, we giving you just a little bit, you know, just a little bit compared to other organizations they donate to. But that stuff just didn't shake. So the first thing to drop off was the 3-on-3, the barbecue. That was the next thing to drop off. And then the sweet potato, I was trying to have somebody step in to help, like, coordinate, put that together. And that's the first thing they said, well, we're going to get with the churches and, you know, make it church-based. And, you know, I'm always trying to think of what I can give back to them at the end. So I said, well, maybe we'll set up the serving tents, buy those, and then they can take those so they can do other events and fundraise if they need to, something like that. Couldn't get that. And I told her ahead of time, I said, good luck trying to get all these churches together. And she said, well, no. I said, okay, good luck. You know, I mean, you know, thank you for the help. Bro. I said, good luck trying. So I'm still going to try to push and do it next year. But we just concentrated on the music and getting the people out this year. Figuring out the logistics of it was the biggest thing with us. So even now, I think they put the gate up already, or you'll see the gate up over there. We're trying to make sure people can leave their stuff and be safe and all that other good stuff. I'm just trying to make sure I get the kids out there for Friday and Saturday. I want to do kickback style, you know, on Sunday. You know, that's the relaxing day or whatever. And what I do is make sure the organizations that register, that's trying to get people to vote and all of them folks, the Masons, you know, they sell water, things like that, that they get a chance to walk around and talk to all the kids and things like that. So that's why I'm trying to make it like that. So even when you said about the males and things like that, this year I was trying to actually have all females. and it just did not shake, or their prices were not in my price range. So I'm thinking, okay, where's Maya this year? I know she was in Baytown last year. I tried to get her. She was somewhere else this year, and then the price wasn't right to have her on a different day too. So it was different ones. I tried Yo-Yo, MC Light, some different ones. I was trying to bring in something something different.
Man.
Well, she got MC Light. I was dead, bro.
Oh, they were. She was the main one. It was Maya first because I had tried Maya last year. So I just went back and talked to her manager again. And so I was like, I don't know about that price point because I don't know what I'm going to bring in. Yeah. You know, I was trying to bring in more, but like I said, we didn't necessarily bring in more. So then it was MC Light. And so I did get a response from them. And her price range is similar to Maya. I'd have to have some major sponsors to get them together. But those were the two that I ran after first. And then Yo-Yo, and then Vivian Green. And then,
Lord, boy, if you got saved, boy, you couldn't have Vivian Green. I'd probably snatch her off the stage, man. I'd probably snatch Vivian Green off the stage, man.
I'm trying to, Elle
my
Varner.
God.
Elle Varner was the other one. So the promoter that I actually have someone that we kind of talked to last year, she's actually supposed to come down with Carl. And so she's the one that can do the Elle Varner, the Vivian Green, and all of that. And so she gonna come take a look at it. And so I already told her, put me down for next year because it's going to be a competition because the 19th is a Friday. You know, so if we do the full weekend thing again, everybody going to be on that same weekend, you know, trying to have it across Texas or everywhere else too, wherever else they go. So she's going to come down and check it out too and get started with trying to secure. And I said, I want all women next time. That's for sure. I need all women. I need these men to come out next year. So I'm doing all females next year. But we set up the services. It's supposed to be free CPR. We had these free mammograms. We have free diabetic drug screening and testing, which last year we had Texas A&M came out with their thing. People actually did go in there and they're giving you, you know, the blood stick machines and all the stuff to take with you. Yeah. Why not go over there? So I still had to entice them. We'll give you one of our old Juneteenth t-shirts, to get you to go over there. We're doing that again with the mammograms. If they just go ahead and do it, I'm going to give you something. Whatever it is, it's going to be something to get you to go. I think we have free liver screenings, and I think that's it. It's going to be South Texas Family Planning is going to be there. And they said they'll do a full, like a regular check. Like if you went to the doctor, they can get this done in their bus that they have.
I might just go over there and get that right there, man.
They'll run the stuff, and it's a full check like you went to your primary physician. And then when they leave Saturday, we have women's and men's health services. They have a bus too. So same thing with them. And then we still try to do the workforce. So workforce got a mobile unit too. Yeah. Go ahead and go in their thing and ask what resources they have. Yeah. You know, they have stuff that's free for the community that you could use and walk away with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out too. Maybe I can get it. I can get in a CDL. I've been trying for that thing, man.
They have a free program now where they paying for that. Yeah. Well, they pay your whole tuition as long as you do the program.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go talk to them. I most definitely need that. But
run us through the days. Okay. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Friday, and all of the days, like I said, it'll be on site. Friday, we have Tony Armani, and he's a Southern Soul artist. And we have local artists as well, too. Saturday is going to be Zero. And like I said, we have local artists. We have Cowboy Corey and Goo and...
On what day?
On Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to be there.
Yeah.
I got to be there. Yeah. They gonna show up for people gonna show up for Goondale, man.
Because I thought they wanted Friday, you know, that Southern Soul Day or whatever. They're like, no, we're supposed to be somewhere else. So Saturday it is. They'll be on Saturday, and it's Bayou Brass Band. It's the Revaluation Revolution. It's the young ladies that used to be in the Chicas Rock. They formed their own band. Oh, really? They're all in at A&M Corpus Christi. So, you know, we support the kids. So they've been with us the past 2 years.
What time of the show is starting?
Okay, so Friday it's 5 to 10. Gates open at 4. Since we are gated and we're getting people's zip codes and information because we didn't understand. People are coming from all over the place, Virginia, you name it. We've heard about people coming in Alaska, stuff like that. No clue that was happening. So it's 5 to 10 on Friday. Saturday it's 3 to 10. Gates open at 2. And that's just our full day. We usually do that time anyway. So headliner is Zero. Sunday, Carl Thomas is the headliner, and like I said, we have Claudia Melton, and that's 4 to 8. So after church,
Claudia be jamming, man.
She does a good job, and she's in all the pictures too. Yeah. So 4 to 8 on Sunday, just to kind of shut it down, close it down, and it's just those two on Sunday. It's supposed to be real laid back, relaxed. And the DJ will play in between there. We brought back a comedian we had before. He's been to Corpus a couple of times, Grossman. He's going to be the MC on Saturday and Sunday as well, too. Yeah. Yep, so we just encourage people to come out like we usually do. And I hope they do, come support it. I still hope to see thousands of people in the park like we have before.
Y'all bringing zero. Y'all been having the whole season.
Well, yeah, I figured that. And so that's... I'm trying to play the music for the people I'm telling you, too. And they're like, Simone. I'm telling you. Just trust me a little bit. And I'm telling you, the people going to come out. And not just, us, it's going to be everybody, come out. And that's all I keep seeing. And when there's zero going on, we never publish times. We want people to come enjoy the whole festival. I need you to come by these trucks. I need, walk through that gate. It's going to be the voter registration lady right there with her tent. So we never publish times as far as who's going on when. But, last act of the night is the last act of the night kind of thing anyway. So we just want the people to come out. That's it. So I'm sure they'll come Saturday, but I need them to come Friday too and Sunday too. Yeah.
One more question. Like the Black Chamber of Commerce and all these, are they all supporters and
Black Chamber, yes, they're supporters. What happened is, there was a shift with NAACP a couple of years ago. Yeah. Black Chamber got taken over by Coretta Graham. She hit the ground running. We made sure we were talking to black businesses, going to black business. I opened up a business for 1.5 years, 2 years. There's resources out there. It's just, we got to get the people to come to these meetings. One time I went to a meeting, they were giving away free lunch. You're going to sit there and talk to the Frost guy, and he's going to explain how you can get the business loan. Yeah. They got $50 gift cards, and I was the only person in the room. The only person. So the Black Chamber, they'll be having stuff. They connect the people. They'll have somebody come speak.
And it's all new team from what it was
right
10
from
years
before.
Ago.
Yeah,
my thing.
We were talking about this before. I opened up a store in 2015, and we didn't get none of that recognition.
And see, they sometimes, like, if nobody tells them, they don't know. Okay. So even with like Loretta and her husband, I said, hey, they got a bar. And they're like, oh, we didn't know. They'll go over there. Even when she opened her new spot on when she switched where the shop was. Yeah. And I said, y'all need to do a ribbon cutting, And so what we did is, I'm on your board, you're on my board, is what started a couple of years ago. So we can also understand what's going on with these other sponsors as well, too, as far as their giving. And if they're giving to you, like, why you can't give to Taffy, that kind of thing. So we were doing the crossover kind of thing. Yeah. So they support, and I think they also ran set up a tent when we first did Cole Park, and they just told the black businesses, if you want to set up under the tent and come sell. They paid for the spot. Come sell. Yeah. So the chamber, and they still working on stuff, but people need to go ahead and take advantage.
Do they post?
Yeah, and see that it's always us doing the work. That's why I get a little mad when people be like, oh, you're not promoting in the video. I'm like, it's so much I can do.
My thing is like, I don't think people be knowing, man.
They don't
know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, man.
Like they had something tonight over at the rooftop, and I'm assuming it might have been their fundraiser. And it looked like they had a nice little, crowd. It was still little, though, compared to probably what it should have been. On Juneteenth. It should have been everybody go out on Juneteenth. But like, it's us pushing the most that we can. And then when you have the media, sometimes they want to help you push it, and sometimes they don't. Or sometimes they want to push it on their timeline.
So does that fall on, let's say I open up a business in 6 months, is it on me to get in touch with the Black Chamber of Commerce, or is it on them to get in touch with? Like, how does that work?
And see, they don't have a list of like who has a new business. It's just by word of mouth.
Oh, really?
And so you got to understand too, sometimes when it comes to us, sometimes we don't spread Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Especially when it came time for my business, they didn't spread the word of mouth because they wanted them savings and them deals. I'm selling body massages for $7. They wanted it for themselves, so they wasn't sharing it word of mouth. That's what happens. Is sometimes they hear about it. When they hear about it, they make contact. They make an effort to make contact.
I wish I should, but I had to close my business because I couldn't not necessarily handle the load, but. I ain't gonna say this on work.
I say I couldn't handle it. It was too much.
No.
It was too much.
That ain't what I'm talking. I'm talking about the extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? That I was just going through with my business. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with people.
Oh yeah. I had somebody call in to the city on me in the county.
Dealing with people, man.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. So, but yeah, the chamber, the Black Chamber, yeah, they've reformed. They've got some new blood, and they're bringing in new blood. That's the part that I like. You got to do that, like you said, is bringing some new blood. I think I'm gonna make a post and tell if you're black and you own a business, man, send me all your information right here, man. Give me your name and your business number, the name of your business, and I'm gonna shoot all this information to the Black Chamber of Commerce. Man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I'm saying is because I know that people don't know, right? And I know they don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know they don't know. And if I can because I don't. Before I even try to talk bad about somebody, I got to figure out. I got to see what you're doing first, man. If you bullshit, you know what I'm saying. That's why I had my issues with the NAACP, man. You know what I'm saying? Say, man, y'all a bunch of cow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going in with them today, or if they trying to reform or
they
something like that.
I don't even want to speak on the dude who used to be over it.
It's just a bunch of cap, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's still a bunch of cap.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. And the thing is, and this is the problem, man. There should be no division amongst y'all. Y'all should be working as a whole, man. Should nobody have nothing to hide when you're trying to do for the people, man?
If it's for the people. Yeah. See, that was supposed to happen when the new happened with NAACP. It was new with us and new with Black Chamber. It was supposed to be, okay, we finna pull it together. Yeah. No. That was, it was cap. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's what it was. It would have been awesome. It would have been awesome to see. Been. So we work with the chamber. They come to our stuff, and then if it's a new business, they open up Catch, and I was trying to tell Loretta, hey, bring your husband to the luncheon. We bought a table so he can meet the folks and see, the resources. That's what it's supposed to be as far as the crossover and all of that.
You're supposed to be able to help each other, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe another time, man. But, man, it was nice. It was nice meeting you. It was nice talking to you. It was nice getting this information, man. You kind of answered some questions that I had been, going through my things concerning our community and things of that nature. You answered everything that I personally need to know, and hopefully, man, as a community of people, man, we can all pull together and also help pull resources together in order to make when y'all trying to do something for Juneteenth, it don't be so hard, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That where we can get.
There's no way there should not be a basketball tournament.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Show should be no way that ain't no sweet potato pie going on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world that should have been missed out on. Come on, man.
Oh, it was pulling teeth. The food trucks that made me think about how many black food trucks there are. Who was signing up first, and they got 10 poles there with the free water, free electricity. Yeah. And I'm seeing these people registered. I'm like, where's our people at? That's why I went and posted about it. Where y'all at? I know somebody got a food truck.
And this is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me, man. We don't show up, man, and people make money off of us, bro. When this is the opportunity for us to be able to spend money with each other, man.
Yeah.
It's man, we got.
We just did that today. John wanted to barbecue. And I said, well, listen, I need some catering, for these folks, these artists or whatever else at the Omni. I'm not going to buy their food. Yeah. You talking about this last minute for you to sign up and your fee, you're going to switch out. What do you say? He's like, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'll do y'all food. That way he ain't got to pay. He ain't got to worry about the city fee and all the other good stuff. And I'll do your catering.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, it was good, man. Good conversation, man. Some news we could most definitely use, man. And I hope that as a community we can do better than what we've been doing, and also to go farther and reach the heights that we're supposed to reach, man. I thank you for your time taking out because shit, we've been down here for almost 2.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? And if we doing that kind of time, that means we're doing something right, man. You know what I'm saying? And some information getting used. So until next week, man. What can they find y'all anywhere?
Yes, website. I do the website. It's tabphecc.org, or on social media it'll be under Taffy Corpus Christi or Taffy CC.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, till next time, guys. My man Lookians, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with us next Thursday, man. We'll be back. Probably talk about what went on for the Juneteenth, you know what I'm saying? In association with Ridin Podcast. It's your boy Daddy Cree, Miss Simone,
Yes, Simone.
and my boy DJ King. Peace.